One way that we try to be more inclusive is really how we share the blessings. We've tried to do is to become more inclusive through the development of new tours.
Very, very happy, smiling, very happy.
Para makita naman nila kung paano kami mamuhay yung mga katutubo.
You know, it's evolving, and right now we already have CSR 2.0. How is my business impacting the environment around where I'm operating?
Seeing these problems associated with the water hyacinth, realize there is something that has to be done.
Napakalaking pribilehiyo sa aming pamilya. Malaking tulong din po. Imbis na basura, nagiging pera.
Social responsibility has been a growing practice among businesses around the world. From an expression of corporate philanthropy to an inclusive and sustainable business practice, it is a growing commitment from the private sector with untold stories of people whose lives have been changed. Join us as we share these inspiring stories. I'm Manu Sandeas, and this is Business Matters, where doing good is good business.
June 15, 1991. The largest volcanic eruption of the century was recorded when Mount Pinatubo erupted after having been dormant for more than 600 years. The catastrophic event caused at least 10.1 billion worth of damages to crops, infrastructure, and personal property. And of the 329,000 families affected by the calamity, 7,840 families were of the Aita cultural minority. After more than 2 decades, the land that was devastated by this catastrophic event has never quite recovered. The barren landscape of Sitio Yangil in Zambales serves as a testament to the destruction caused by Mount Pinatubo.
Nung kapuputok talaga ma'am ang Pinatubo, talaga hindi namin alam kung anong gagawin namin. Yun, wala na kami pwedeng pagtaniman, wala na kami pwedeng balikan na namin doon sa bundok. Pati yung mga bahay namin, pati hanap buhay po ma'am po.
And with no land to till and crops to harvest, all seemed lost for the Aita community.
Natabo na po ng lahar ma'am, pati yung mga bahay namin. Kaya hindi na po kami nakabalik noon dahil natabo na lahat po ng mga namin, ari-arian namin.
But hope came in a different form for the Aitas of Sitio Yangil. Through livelihood opportunities brought upon by a social enterprise called the Circle Hostel, the Aita communities within San Felipe Zambales are slowly getting back on their feet, reaping the livelihood benefits of the social enterprise through tourism.
The hostel is it's an eco-friendly art and surfer hostel.
Situated in the heart of Sitio Lirio, the Circle Hostel prides itself in its commitment to involve the community, with their business mainly relying on the stakeholders around them in order to thrive.
We've got roughly 3 employees per branch, and we're focused mainly on accommodations. One way that we try to be more inclusive is really how we share the blessings, basically. We don't do food. The food goes to multiple partners in the area. And when we started, we were a surf hostel, but we didn't rent out surfboards, which many people would find strange. But it was because these were the things that the locals could do. These were their jobs, and we didn't want to take away from them.
Apart from the immediate people around them, they have also extended their commitment to being an inclusive business by setting up projects that would involve other communities as well, especially those that were directly hit by the explosion of Mount Pinatubo.
What we've tried to do is to become more inclusive or practice the principles of social entrepreneurship. And so to do that, we try to make helping others part of the business model. And I guess one good example of us doing that really is through the development of new tours, wherein we really invest in the capacity of the locals. We wanted to grow the market so that there was more for everyone to share.
social enterprise like Circle Hostel is just one of the business models in the Philippines that aims to give back to the community by practicing inclusive business. This particular business practice focuses on helping reduce poverty among low-income communities by including them in the company's value chain. By creating and imparting the value chain through sustainable programs, this in turn creates a positive difference that contributes to a thriving society that in turn improves their quality of life.
Para makita naman nila kung paano kami mamuhay yung mga katutubo.
Karamihan ng aking mga customers ay mga guest ng Circle Hostels, lalong-lalo na yung mga foreigners.
Corporate social responsibility, corporate citizenship, creating shared value, inclusive business. These are just a few of the concepts that are growing in popularity among many companies worldwide. And in the Philippines alone, over 80% of companies practice some form of social responsibility. The practice of inclusive business by the Circle Hostel has been very evident in its immediate community. Because the hostel focuses on accommodation, they recommend other businesses around them for services that they do not provide. The Aita Community Tour, which started only late last year, involves an hour's worth of walk through a denuded river.
Very happy.
The travel going there is not easy, but just by this alone, tourists can really get an idea of how the locals get by.
Para makita naman nila kung paano kami mamuhay yung mga katutubo. O para makita naman nila yung mga kinakain namin dyan, kung ano mga kinakain namin. Minsan, may kinabuhay yung mga anak ko, nag-tour guide sila. Yun, kinukuha nila yung mga anak ko mag-tour guide sa kanila. Yun, mayroon din silang, kahit na paano, mayroon silang kinikita.
The tour has been an important activity for the Aita community, especially during the seasons that they wait for harvest.
It's helpful because it gives them an access to jobs, to regular income. No? Most of these households will earn about maybe 1,000 to 2,000 per month. Also try to engage them in terms of restoring what we would call like really restoring human dignity. No? Because for them, it's a big honor for someone from Manila, or much more someone from abroad, to visit their home and eat with them. No? We as Filipinos love having guests, no? And so that can be very empowering. It's an immediate need for tour guides, which is basically escorting someone to and from their domain. Somebody to cook. Each of the households has a talented chef, we found out. No?
Coconut is a tree of life.
It has been said that good business and community development go hand in hand. And with the Circle Hostel strategy of just providing plain accommodation to local and foreign tourists, this initiative then in turn provides livelihood opportunities not only to the local Aitas, but to other local residents as well. Like local business owner Phoebe Flauta.
Nag-umpisa ako sa kainan lang talaga. Ang aking mga customer is mga surfers from Manila. Then, nag-additional ako ng surf shop, surfboard rentals, hanggang sa may sari-sari store na rin ako.
Phoebe also earns a living and provides her employees sustainable income by offering surfing lessons to tourists, further maximizing the good relationship of the Circle Hostel's business strategy and the community and the environment.
Karamihan ng aking mga customers ay mga guest ng Circle Hostels, lalong-lalo na yung mga foreigners.
Ricky De Castro, Vice Chairperson of the League of Corporate Foundations, has also shared the same positive outlook about the emerging approach of businesses in social investment and responsibility.
You know, it's evolving, and right now we already have CSR 2.0. Everyone who's affected by our business stakeholder management will be dealt with the company positively. Before, it's only shareholders. When you do business, you look at how is my business impacting the environment around where I'm operating.
Well, it's already well enough to support.
More than giving livelihood opportunities, part of the advocacy of the Circle Hostel is to educate the community about the environment in their own little way.
We've also shared this paradigm of environmental protection to the locals now. So we do beach cleanups, and even the tour guides that we have now, we educate them on the cleaner it is, the more people will come.
Training the community and building their capacity is important in an inclusive business model. These are assets that make the business and the community around it more sustainable.
We wanted to grow the market so that there was more for everyone to share. We're all about community, and that's why our tagline is there are no strangers.
In place of 5-star amenities, the Circle Hostel tries to present instead 5-star hospitality and 5-star cleanliness.
When visitors come and guests come, we would like them to be very happy, but at the same time, we'd also want them to walk away inspired or empowered, no? Because when they visit communities or work with the locals that we help build up, no? And they hear the stories of the locals, the stories of resilience, no? And of solidarity, then people are very happy with it. No?
Gusto ko matatag, magtagumpay yung circle habang buhay sana yan. Eh siyempre ma'am, marami na po kaming natatanggap na tulong sa amin sa kanila.
The Aita community in Zambales is just one of the many that are stricken by poverty. And the Circle Hostel is part of the growing number of enterprises that help improve their lives.
It's actually the first of its kind here in the country and in the world. We are so far the only one selling plant leather in the country.
Water hyacinths are one of the fastest growing plants in the world. And when put in tropical Philippines, they reproduce hundreds of seeds in a month and can grow up to 5 meters in a day. A wonder of nature, but a savage in many communities in the Philippines where the sheer volume of them block the waterway and cause floods whenever there's heavy rain. Water hyacinths cover about 20% of the Laguna Lake's surface area, which affect provinces such as Rizal and Laguna. So their residents would go as far as calling these plants pests. But no pest can cause as much destruction when the Filipino figures out what to do with it. We've made money out of trash, or basically anything you think was no longer useful. And water hyacinths aren't any different. It started as just a college project for Ann Yi and her partners.
Seeing these problems associated with the water hyacinth, realized there's something that has to be done.
When they were looking into it, water hyacinths were already being utilized by local government programs and made into products. The most popular are woven products, and in some areas, even charcoal. So they had to come up with something new. Their idea? Turn these pests into plant leather. Eco-leather has been known for a while in the fashion industry as the more environmentally friendly substitute to the ordinary leather made out of animal skin. Natural fibers such as flax or cotton are mixed with other plant oils and laminated together to create leather-like material. But it's simpler with water hyacinths, as they would later find out through locals.
It's actually the first of its kind here in the country and in the world. We are so far the only one selling plant leather in the country. We started selling bags in year 2010. Then eventually we expanded into smaller items.
They named their company Jacinto Lirio, Spanish words for hyacinth and lily, creating products that are modern, stylish, and more importantly, products that are of good quality. What was originally a thesis project for entrepreneurship class evolved into a social enterprise that helps women in local communities. And where else? In Rizal and Laguna. They call them their Jacinto Lirio Nanays. 52-year-old Flor Collis from Cainta, Rizal used to be a housewife. A mother of 6, she struggled where to get the next day's expenses. Until she was introduced to the Water Lily Livelihood Program of Cainta.
Napaka-convenient po yung Water Lily livelihood namin kasi nauuwi po namin sa bahay. Tapos dito na lang po namin sinisimulaan sa pag-fiber.
Where she earned enough to put up a small backyard piggery.
Dahil po sa livelihood ng Water Lily, na ipagpatuloy ko po ang aking backyard piggery. Okay lang naman kaso nga, every 4 months ang income ko.
The livelihood program had to stop when the administration changed in Cainta. But perhaps it was fate that Jacinto Lirio came along just when Flor lost a job. Needing people with knowledge about water hyacinth technology and wanting to help local communities, Jacinto Lirio found Flor and the other women from the livelihood program.
Malaki po yung pagbabago sa aming buhay ng Water Lily kasi yung pamilya po namin natutulungan.
Jacinto Lirio comes up with the sleek designs and other innovations. It's Flor and the other women who have to create the plant leather material.
Una po, bibiakin natin yung Water Lily, tatanggalan ng fiber. Natanggalan na po ng fiber, bali kakaskasin po yun. Ito na po ang pagsisimula namin pagdikit. Ipaplat po para maging maayos. Kadikit po, punasan. Ang finished product po namin, ito na po pag nakadikit na po. Ito na po siya.
Jacinto Lirio has collaborated with other groups such as Girl Tank, a global community of women wanting to make change. And they've won awards from Newsweek and the Daily Beast for supporting sustainable livelihood programs and empowering communities through their innovative initiatives.
We train them in terms of quality, like achieving the quality that Jacinto Lirio wants to offer to the customers.
Malaki po kasi unang-una parang nakilala yung Water Lily sa ibang bansa, nakakarating yung Water Lily.
Dati po, sabi ng mga tao, peste ito. Ngayon po, hindi na nila sinasabing peste ang Water Lily dahil po nakakatulong na sa kanila.
Modern, stylishly sexy, and most of all, uniquely Filipino. These best describe Jacinto Lirio's leather plant products' appeal. Using indigenous materials for stylish and sustainable products, this social enterprise simultaneously delights their customers while empowering the community, an act that leaves its mark beyond the world of fashion.
Right now, a lot of people are really supporting brands that are eco-friendly For example, the government agencies like Department of Foreign Affairs, their employees purchased our products and even considered us for their corporate giveaways so that they can showcase it to foreign dignitaries or ambassadors.
Jacinto and Lirio also aims to raise the competitiveness of indigenous materials and the communities that produce them through global design brands. Many of these communities still live in poverty. And by partnering with the local community and local government, this in turn creates a market vehicle, empowering them with development opportunities, helping build our nation.
We are experiencing environmental hazards, and we ourselves feel how our environment has been really affected by our past habits. So if we don't do anything about it, it will just worsen.
Nagkaroon sila ng interest na magkaroon ng livelihood ng water lily kasi para iwas baha po. 7 barangay po, nagkaroon po kami ng training. Nakilala po namin si Miss Ann, yung Jacinto Lirio po, nag-order po sa amin. Ito na po ang sa amin ang kumuha ng raw material.
Stain and water resistant, dyeable, and most importantly, environmentally and socially sustainable. Today, the water hyacinth continues to be a beacon of hope for livelihood opportunity and community development.
The business actually started as an answer to a need. We always go back to the why of our business, and that involves our environmental impact and social impact. We usually pressure ourselves also to improve so that we can also help more. So really try to scale up so that we can tap more mothers and increase our impact in their lives, especially in terms of increased profits for them.
Out to set and innovate the standard for how business should be done in our country, Jacinto and Lirio remains confident that they'll continue finding more and more ways to involve their business model to the community and further expand their harmonious relationship as good business and community building go hand in hand. For as the saying goes, doing good is good business.
Dati po, sabi ng mga tao, peste ito. Ngayon po, hindi na nila sinasabing peste ang water lily dahil po nakakatulong na sa kanila.
At isang napakalaking pribilehiyo sa aming mga mahirap na makatulong po sa aming pangkabuhayan, sa aming pamilya. Sa environment naman po, malaking tulong din po kasi imbis na basura, nagiging pera.
But more than making a profit, Jacinto and Lirio's commitment is deeply rooted on being a responsible steward of our planet's finite resource. And if used properly, becomes an instrument of positive social change.
First, we have to go back to what God has entrusted us. So God has entrusted us to be stewards of His creation. And as stewards, we have to really take care of the environment. So if you're in business, they must see if their current practices is beneficial also to others or is it harmful. That way, they are also being sustainable.